podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fight Bros podcast. We are coming at you today with Fight Bros MMA show number 40. Coming at you today in a little bit different settings. Me and Albert, we've just been busy, so this is the best we can work in this week. We definitely wanted to get in a quick podcast just because we got some big fights coming up this weekend, and we definitely didn't want to miss a podcast this week. But as always, I am Marcus Burks, and this is Albert Walters.
Hey. Happy to be here as always, guys.
So let's get right down into it, man. This past weekend, there was some UFC fights, but it was kind of overhyped. Nobody really cared about it because you had Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather, the ultimate YouTuber versus the ultimate undefeated boxer in a professional boxing match. And oh man, that was definitely interesting. I didn't get it. I know you didn't either. But you know, just watching the fight, a lot of things were interesting about it. I mean, there was no winner. So as you can see on ESPN or nothing, you see no winner because it was an exhibition. So there was no winner in that. But I don't know if you watched that clip I sent you, man, but I stayed up all that night just looking at the highlights and stuff as they were getting posted on YouTube. But
it seems like there weren't many highlights.
Yeah, there weren't, man. It was a lot of hugging. There were a lot of memes online, which that was kind of expected, you know. I've seen some videos about how that was going to be Logan Paul's game plan because, you know, if he started getting gassed out or anything like that, he was kind of being trained to kind of bring him in and clinch him to kind of, you know, he's going to be able to get the clinch. He has 50 pounds on Floyd Mayweather. But did you get the video of where Logan Paul, I believe it was in the second round, he just unloaded on Mayweather?
Yeah.
Did you get that video?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, man, that was kind of awesome because, I mean, even though, like, Floyd wasn't in trouble or anything, it looked like he was in trouble.
Yeah, like it was good. He was putting it all out there.
Oh man, he was unloaded on him. If I was watching that live, I would have been like, oh.
Like, ooh. Yeah.
That was definitely what's hard about that fight is Floyd didn't try. You know, that's the bottom line. Floyd Mayweather didn't try. You have the stats broke down. Floyd Mayweather threw about an average of maybe 13 punches a round, and there was 8 rounds. Breaking down the fight stats, Floyd Mayweather landed a total of 43 punches out of 107 thrown, and Logan Paul landed a total of 28 over 217 thrown. So definitely kind of, you know, Logan was trying, man, but Floyd just didn't try. And that was kind of like the upsetting thing about it for like fans that paid for it was you come out here to see like this undefeated boxer that's, you know, the greatest of all time. And, you know, where Jake Paul grabbed his hat and then it seemed like there was this real beef. You just would have thought he wanted to go out there and finish him. Like you don't get more money for the fight going on longer, you know?
Yeah.
So that's not I don't know. I don't know why he didn't try. And I know some people have praised Logan Paul. They was like, no, man, you won because you hung in there 8 rounds with somebody who was 50-0.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of that thing on it. Do I want to see Logan Paul or Floyd Mayweather fight after this? Probably not.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it wasn't interesting enough from the start.
Yeah. I mean, I think I read today it did over 100 million views. Or not 100 million, 1 million pay-per-view buys. Which that's good, but it's not a lot compared to some of your big UFC fights.
Yeah.
So definitely, yeah. What's crazy, though, is the day before the fight, this really got me more hype, and it seemed like most of the combat sports world got more hype over this announcement than the actual fight between Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather happening, the day before Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul gets announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jake Paul signed with Showtime Boxing maybe a month ago or so, and he said he had a big fight coming up against a legit striker. So here we are. Tyron Woodley gets released by the UFC, gets picked up by Showtime. Jake Paul gets his striker. And, I mean, I'm not going to say Tyron Woodley's a boxer, but, man, he is a striker. And I can't wait to see what he can do against Jake Paul, because he's not going to have to worry about, freaking Colby Covington wrestling him. He's not going to have to worry about Gilbert Burns clinching him or getting submitted by Vicente Luque. It's just standing up worried about those hands, and that's the way he prefers it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good fight. It's weird to see Woodley kind of out of the UFC and more into like these special belts. But I'm excited to watch this one. I'd watch that one before I would the one with Floyd Mayweather.
It is weird, man. Like, I agree with you. It is tough to kind of like Tyron Woodley's probably under Nate Diaz my favorite. He's in, my top 3 definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
So he's probably my second favorite. So it is tough seeing him face these killers at welterweight. And, he was on the top. He's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer in the UFC, no doubt about it. He's one of the best welterweights that have ever fought so far. So it is tough to see him go out of the UFC on that 4-fight losing streak. But I'm excited for this, man, because this is, Tyron Woodley, in the wrestling world terms, people were booing him. They didn't like him, in the UFC near the end of his career. They kind of felt like he complained and stuff. And, I don't feel that way, but that's the way it was coming off. Yeah. So let's just say he was kind of a heel.
Yeah.
Not purposely. He was a good guy that just the fans kind of turned against him. Yeah. But, he wasn't really getting the backing and the advertising by UFC and kind of the support. So now we're in a spot, everybody wants to see Jake Paul get beat. So now Tyron Woodley, everybody's cheering for him again. Nobody's like – and that's what makes me mad too, is like the same people that have sit there and like clowned on him and stuff for losing these 4 fights, they're cheering for him now because they're like, oh – but then if he loses, it's just going to be the same thing. But I'm definitely excited because I'm a loyal Woodley fan, man. I don't care who he's fighting.
Absolutely.
I got Woodley's back, man. But yeah, this is a real test for Jake. It's his toughest test.
I think so.
I think if we see a Tyron Woodley that is taking this serious, he is not just I feel like Ben Askren did it for the paycheck. He didn't care about it at a point. But Tyron Woodley's taking this serious. He's been training at Wild Card Boxing, I believe, since 2011. So he's been training with, like, professional boxers and stuff for a long time. But I feel like, he's a prize fighter. Like, he deserves to get paid. Any of these fighters do,
Yeah.
It's definitely like a gladiator sport. You need to be paid. You need to be paid hefty for sacrificing your body pretty much.
No, absolutely.
And so, yeah, that's what I got to say about it. So Jake Paul, if he can get by Woodley, we have to look at him as he's legit.
Yeah. No. I get that. I'm looking forward to that fight.
Yeah. Got any more to say about that fight?
Not really. I think it'll be good to watch. Is it going to be? Are they going to have a winner or loser? Or is it just have they?
I know knockouts are allowed.
Okay.
Yeah, this isn't an exhibition.
Okay, it's a real fight.
This is a real fight. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, and I haven't bought none of. I bought the Mike Tyson Roy Jones Jr. pay-per-view, but I haven't bought any like celebrity boxing matches or anything like that. But I will be buying this one definitely.
Absolutely.
But guys, let's get into it. The real reason we got to do this podcast today is because we have the biggest UFC pay-per-view. And
we have a great pay-per-view this weekend.
Yeah, coming Saturday. This is why we had to squeak in this podcast for you. You know why? Because it's Team Diaz. It's Nate Diaz, Nick Diaz Army.
It's going to be hell of a fight, man. Hell of a night, really. We've got so many great fights.
It's Stockton, 209, Nick Diaz Army.
Absolutely. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, man! This is what we've been waiting for, and I mean,
Yeah.
you got Stylebender on the pay-per-view, Israel
Yeah.
Adesanya.
Absolutely. As the main event, Adesanya and Marvin, like it's. I mean, you already know who I'm rooting for, though. Like I love my boy Adesanya.
Oh yeah, and then you got another flyweight title fight as the co-main event. Diego Diversia Ferrego. I didn't pronounce his name.
Figueroa.
Yeah,
I think it's
Figueroa.
Figueroa
You
and
got it.
Moreno. I'm going for Moreno, though. Absolutely.
And that first fight was amazing, so I'm excited about that. So this card just gets getting better. And then the third fight on the card, Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards.
Which that's hard because you got to love both these guys. But,
this could be a main event, and it is a 5-round third fight on the card.
Which we never see 5 rounds for the third fight.
Yeah.
Like without it really being a title fight, we almost never see 5-round fights.
And then at the second fight on the card, we got a legend in Damian Maia. I believe this is his last fight facing up-and-comer Belal Muhammad. So, I mean, from the top to the bottom, this is just an awesome card. I believe they have the press conference and stuff for that tonight, so that is going to be interesting to watch.
Absolutely.
Just because I feel like definitely in the main event and Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards, there's a little bit of bad blood, so you're probably going to see some of those WWE antics in this press conference.
Oh yeah.
But let's break down these fights, man. So let's start out with the first fight on the main card. This is a good one for that light heavyweight division. The light heavyweight division needs to get some names rolling in there. With John Jones leaving, we need a little bit more popularity in that light heavyweight division. So we got Paul Craig versus Jamal Hill. Both of these guys are up and comers. I like this fight opening out the main card. And there's been some bad blood going on between these guys here recently, but I think I like Jamal Hill in this one, or Jamel Hill, however you pronounce it.
Jamal Hill. No, I mean, for me personally, I'm going with Paul Craig. Now, I'm not familiar with either one of these guys too much, but looking at Paul Craig's record, it looks like he just has a lot more fights. So obviously, like I love to go with experience.
Oh yeah, and I haven't watched these guys too much in depth and like really analyze like their fighting style or anything. I just haven't, but I've heard of them and I know of them. So this should definitely be a good one, and we need these up and comer guys to make this light heavyweight division.
Absolutely,
we got to start watching these up and comers, man. Some of these superstars are starting to get some age on them. So
they're gonna be the new Adesanya, the new Romero's. So you gotta. It's fluid. As soon as your good guys ain't good no more, someone else is going to come in and be better. So moving up the welterweight, like you said, the legend Damian Maia fighting an up and comer. Now, what do you think about this one?
Man, this is a tough one because Belal Muhammad, man, he's been on a tear at welterweight. He just had a fight against Leon Edwards that ended with Edwards got disqualified because he eye poked Belal Muhammad and he couldn't continue. And it was just a bad eye poke. Like, it wasn't kind of like just got poked in the eye and then taken away out. Like, it was bad. Like, his eye kind of closed up on him.
Oh,
so, I mean, he just was fighting Leon Edwards, the number 3 welterweight in the world. So, yeah, he is
which I love that these two are fighting back-to-back. It's awesome.
Yeah, and then Damian Maia, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better way for him to go out here.
Yeah. So who are you rooting for out of these two?
Because Damian Maia, this is probably I don't know, man. This is tough because I like Belal Muhammad, man.
I do too. Like, I always like to go with your legends, but
I think they let him. He was an announcer on the UFC. They've been putting him in the analyst desk, so that's big time, man. He's one of the first. I think he's half Italian, half Muslim, I think. So, it's kind of big time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it certainly is.
It's that diversity in there, and I like it.
So are you going for Muhammad?
No, I think Damian Maia, man. I like Damian Maia. I think his jiu-jitsu game and stuff's too good. I like Belal Muhammad. I think Belal Muhammad's going to stay around those top guys in the welterweight division, but I think I got Damian Maia by submission.
Oh, yeah. I think realistically Muhammad might win, but I'm sticking behind Maia. He's a legend. And you can't drop out on your legends.
Yeah.
But moving on, we
Yeah,
got
man.
your boy fighting.
Yeah, this is the main event. Like, this is what I'm here for.
Oh, you don't say so?
This is what I'm tuning in for, man. Yeah, like I just got done at work today. I brought this hat and this shirt just for the podcast, man. Got to represent.
No, I feel you. I feel
That's
you.
Nate Diaz's brand too, man. Represent.
Yeah. So who you rooting for?
Oh man, you know where for me, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I mean, but don't get me wrong. Like just being around
I
the
hate to
sport,
see it though, because Leon, he's a great guy, great fighter.
yeah,
But
like don't. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like as big as a Nate Diaz fan as I am, this is a tough fight. Leon Edwards is the number 3 welterweight in the world. This is why Nate took this fight. Nate only takes fights that are tough. He takes the
tough
punch
fight.
nobody
Yeah,
wants. Nobody wanted to fight Leon Edwards. Everybody was turning him down because he was on this 8-fight winning streak. You know, getting a title shot. Masvidal wouldn't fight him. Stuff like that. People,
absolutely.
and it's because he's kind of that up and comer.
Yeah.
You know, he's dangerous. And Nate Diaz, man, is a plus 500 underdog.
Woo!
I put a little bit of money on him.
Did you? Jeez, I actually might have to, man. That'd be great odds.
Yeah, so he's
Put 10, 20 bucks on him and come out doing pretty well.
Yeah, so I put a little money down. You know, sports betting is legal in Virginia now, so. But yeah, man.
Or if you changed your VPN address to be in a different state, it was always legal.
Oh,
So
I am going with Nate Diaz in this fight. Like I've said before, I think the fight goes the same way. A couple of years ago, he came back after a 2 or 3 year layoff, and he fought Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson is kind of a stand-up fighter, likes to stand up just like Leon Edwards, and he came back and beat Michael Johnson by unanimous decision. I think we're going to look at the same situation. Leon Edwards isn't – I don't think he's really looking to wrestle or clinch. And I think that Nate Diaz endurance, you know how he picks it up in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round where he's a triathlete. I think he's going to come in, and I think Nate's going to get it done. And then after that, he's going to get that title shot against Kamaru Usman.
I agree with that completely, man. I think it's going to be a great fight. And, you know, I'm right there with you behind Diaz.
Oh, I can't wait, man.
Well, moving on for the co-main, I'm rooting for Moreno, but that's because I know a little bit more about him than I do for Guerrero.
Yeah, this is a tough fight, man. It happened. They already fought before, and it was so close. I mean, it was so close. It could have went either way, but it ended up going to Figueiredo. And he's kind of been a dominant champion. So Brandon Moreno was kind of his Figueiredo's first kind of like test because he had been so dominant.
Yeah.
So that was definitely that first fight. I didn't buy that pay-per-view, and I felt like I missed out because I seen so many people talking about it, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" Like that was one that I should have got because those 2 guys put it on. I think it's going to be different this time, though. Both guys, they fought each other before. They didn't have full training camps last time, so I think with a full training camp this time, I just feel like Brandon Moreno kind of had his number in that last fight. So I'm going to keep going with the underdogs here, and I'm going to go with Brandon Moreno.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, I'm rooting for him as well. You know, for the main event, obviously, like I said, I'm going for Adesanya. But what's your take on this fight?
Yeah, man. So they already fought one time before, and
Yeah.
it was a split decision. It was a 3-round fight, though. It was very early on in both of their careers. It was a 3-round fight. And a lot of people did not agree with the split decision. They felt Adesanya clearly won 2 rounds, and Marvin Vettori only won 1 round. I don't know, man. I like Marvin Vettori. He's a tough dude.
Yeah.
But Israel Adesanya, man, coming off a loss against Polish power Jan Blachowicz.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's coming off a loss against Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz took it down. That was the first couple of times we've seen Israel Adesanya get taken down, and you know, he didn't handle it well, but he was doing good with Jan Blachowicz until he got those takedowns. So I think this fight is going to be a story. Can Marvin Vettori get those takedowns and kind of put Adesanya in similar situations as Jan Blachowicz did? But Jan Blachowicz at the same time is pretty much a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And Marvin Vettori is not going to have that type of weight on him. So I think
it's going to be a good fight, but I'm still going for Adesanya.
Yeah, I'm going with Adesanya too. I think haven't seen Adesanya coming off a loss. He's been in this sport forever. He's had over like 80 fights before he got in the UFC.
Yeah.
You know, this is not going to phase him. I think we're going to see a, kind of a killer version of him that's just so motivated and ready to get back and prove what he is, because people after that Jan Blachowicz loss, they was like, there's no way you're fighting John Jones. Like, they just kind of, and he looks at all that internet stuff. So I think he's going to come back and make a statement with this main event here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, man. I cannot wait till Saturday. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely.
We're kind of at a point where we can get everybody together. This will be our first one getting our, fight group back together.
Crew together, yeah.
To watch the pay-per-view. So, hey, man.
For a year and a half.
For it. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
I will not accept any Diaz slander while watching the pay-per-view.
I hear you.
Because I know Mary's already talking about hating on Diaz. So.
She don't know.
But, yeah.
He's a casual, man.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, short and sweet podcast coming at y'all today. We just wanted to get one out. We were real busy this week, but we wanted to get one out there to give our predictions because this is such a big pay-per-view. And Albert, thanks for taking some time to do this.
No problem,
today, man. But yeah, guys, UFC 263, Nate Diaz.
Yeah, well, be sure to watch it, guys. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we'll be tuning in Saturday. Thanks for doing it, Albert.
Be sure to like and subscribe, right?
Yeah.
You gotta always throw that in at the end of a video.
Yeah, and guys, remember, reach out, man. Like I know so many people. Don't be afraid to come be a guest on the podcast. Like it's this conversation, and
don't be nervous.
I see a lot of my friends on Twitter. They'll be tweeting about UFC all the time. So so let's get on here and just talk about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. And Albert, I'll stop this video real quick.
No, you're good. Hey, see you, man.